Hello everybody and welcome to Tint Effect, where I'm going to show you today how to key properly your footage, and depending on the kind of footage that you have, because many of you, I know that you can afford some footage that has an alpha background. Many of the footage that you find on the internet have a black background, so I'm going to show you today how to deal with them, how to properly key your footage depending on the kind of footage you have. This is something pretty easy, you know, just a couple of things to keep in mind depending on the thing that you want to do, but it's something really interesting to know, you know, it's always good knowing it. So I have this picture here of our awesome Luke and Leia. We're going to use them as you know, background for putting our footage on top. So I'm going to show you today 5 different ways of keying out our footage. The first one is dust. Probably the most typical bad kid. I don't know how to say that. But anyway, imagine that we have our dust footage, but it is like this one. It has a black background. The typical thing to do in these cases is to put it on screen mode. This doesn't look bad, but it's not the best way to do it, especially if we have a really bright scene. That is not our case. But when we have a real bright scene, putting on screen mode is not the best way. So instead, what we can do is get a tint effect to make it just black and white, and now create a new solid. We have to take the color that we want our dust to be, probably brownish, you know, something like this one maybe. Well, this thing actually I'm going to put it a little bit more like blue because it fits better in the scene. I'll go on with something like this. Okay. And now we want to have our solid below our footage, and we want to put it to Luma matte because we're going to use this footage as a Luma, just taking care of the whites. And this way, well, you cannot really see it very bright because it's pretty dark, our footage. For fixing this, we can use a curves effect, put it on our footage, and now we can choose how strong we want our smoke to be. You know, we can put some contrasts and so, but I think it looks nice like this. Yeah, that looks cool. Now, the second type of effect that we may struggle are explosions. You know, explosions, muzzle flashes, and so explosions often is always better to have it as a alpha background because explosions have smoke and so. But what if our explosion doesn't have a transparent background? It has a black background like this one over here. Well, the best way to key this out is setting it to add mode, just like this one, and getting another smoke footage, and using the same way that we keyed our dust, just doing so. But what if we want to put our explosion behind our characters? Well, we can just put it like that, and we're going to by now turn it off, because what you might do is just take the mask tool and, you know, create the shape that you want and just putting it to subtract mode. But this is not the best way to do it, because then if we want to move our explosion, we have to move also the mask, and so this is definitely not the best way to do so. So we're going just to create another layer, another solid. We're going to turn off our explosion by now, and we're going to make our layer, make our shape. I'm going to do this pretty fast, just like this, and we're going to make a matte of this so that in case we want to move our footage or explosion, we don't have to move the whole thing with all the masks. And so now we can just set this to alpha matte, inverted, sorry, maybe feather out a little bit, just like that. And if we want to move our explosion, we don't have to care about, you know, moving also all the stuff over here, all the masks. I'm going to show you now another thing that it's really cool if you want like to have an even better effect. That is taking this mask that we just created and the explosion and precomposing it. Precompose just like that, and explosion back. And click here in this effect right here, so that the add mode keeps right there where it is. And now we're going to add a glow effect. Why do we add the glow effect to our... Oops. Never mind, just keep it in add mode. Why are we going to add our glow here in this precomposition and not on an adjustment layer? Maybe because if we make an adjustment layer and we create the glow on top, it will add the glow to everything, and it can create a glow here to the you know, the most shiny parts of our footage, and we don't want that. We want our glow to be only in the actual footage. So we'll create a bigger radius like this, maybe something like that, a little bit more shiny maybe. And you know, this way it looks like there's an actual explosion behind them, and it looks really nice. Well, obviously I did a really bad masking, you know, really quick, but if you do it properly, it has a really nice effect. We can say the same things regarding embers, sparks, and so that we want to add on top. If they have a black background, it's always better to put it on add mode, and if you decide so, making it, you know, making some glow. I'm going to actually take the hue effect. I'm going to move it a little bit to have it more just like this, so as to, you know, fit it better on the image. It looks awesome. Alright, the third case that we can see, the third struggle that we might face regarding footage is the sabers, the lightsabers especially. If you usually make lightsabers in your footages, in your videos, I do highly recommend you the saber effect from Video Copilot. It's really easy and it's really awesome actually to do. I'm going to put it, I'm going to keep it where it was before. This turn, nah, I'm going to keep it there. Alright, and the saber effect is really awesome actually, because you just have to create a solid. I'm going to create a black solid actually, and put this saber effect on top. And this is really cool because you have already your saber created. You know, you can then customize it, like putting it more thin, more thick, you know, and it has a lot of different options over here that you might really enjoy. And often either you use this plugin or use the, you know, the typical way of creating lightsaber, that is with a solid and then feathering, and so people often use the screen mode. They put it here just like this. I'm going to put it a little bit bigger, something like that. And screen mode is okay, but if you want to have a look like it looks like it's actually there, you should put the add mode. Now it looks really bright this way because we already have an explosion and we have the embers and so on. It looks extremely shiny, the shot, but so I'm going to keep it on screen mode by now. But if you don't have like explosions and so in the back, always when you make a lightsaber, put it on add mode, because you can really see the difference. Not in this particular case, but often you can see a difference, and it's really cool. And again, make sure that you use this saber effect, because it's a plugin that is free. You can find it on videocopilot.net. I will leave a link in the description just in case you wanna download the saber. Again, it's free and it's really awesome. You can, you know, change the color and everything. You're really going to enjoy it. Now, the fourth case that you might see regarding our footage are optical flares. And optical flares is always better to try to catch them with an alpha background as always. But in case you have a black background in your flare, you can also use the optical flares effect plugin, from Video Copilot. You can either play with screen mode. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Screen mode or add mode. I'll personally prefer add mode because just as in the lightsaber effect, it creates a much better looking lightsaber and a much better looking effect. You cannot almost not tell the difference because it's really shiny everything, but again it's just about the scene. If you have a dark scene, put it in add mode so that it better blends with the lightning, and actually it can even affect the faces, and so it looks just better. So if you can always use the add mode, so I'm going to keep it just like that. Now the final case that you can find struggling your face yourself is with blood. We might have a blood effect that in this case I'm going to show you a web page just in case you wanna add blood to your footage. That is this one that I will leave in the description as well. That is really nice because it has lots of different high resolution blood, and it has a alpha background, a transparent background, and this makes it very easier for much easier, sorry for my English, for keying out in your footage, because you have to put it to multiply mode. Now we can rotate it a little bit, just like there. We should put it to multiply mode so that it looks like it's actually blending. You can see with all the shades, and so it blends perfectly. But if you have a blood footage that has a black background, the black will stay there. How can you fix this? Well, excuse me, just the same way as we use our dust, just as we keyed out our dust effect, you can do exactly the same with your blood footage. Create a red solid, then put it to Luma Matte, and then pre-compose the whole thing and put it on multiply mode. You will have exactly the same result. So I hope that you find these quick tips helpful for keying out your films, keying out your effects, because these are some tips that are quick, but they're always useful. And I'm sorry if I sounded a little bit annoying, but because of the audio quality I still haven't fixed the Camtasia Studio. I don't know what's wrong with it. And also because of my English, as you know, I'm not native speaking English, and it's hard for me sometimes to try to express myself and so. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope that you subscribe to the channel if you aren't yet, and that you like the video if you enjoyed it and you find it helpful. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything that you would like to know about After Effects, and I really hope to see you in my next tutorial. So, see ya!